Belen. I'm Matthew Cardoso, and welcome to this edition of WBLN for March 1st, 2019. This past Wednesday, Belen donated over $17,000 to Baptist South Florida for breast cancer. The money was raised from Battle Like a Wolverine this past October.
That you guys do, means personally a lot to me. I lost my father to cancer, so to me, to have a center of this category in our backyard meant a lot. And unfortunately or fortunately, I've been using the services in March 11th. We had surgery again to take care of my situation, but the fact that I don't have to go out of the state to seek treatment means a lot. And the same for everybody. We have proton therapy, which helps pediatric patients and keeps the whole family together here in South Florida.
The Baptist Foundation, serves a lot of people who are in need of good health services. This year, through Auto Nation's donation, it helped us raise even more than normal. So we got to $17,000 that we were able to donate to them, and that I think gets to right under $65,000 for all the years put together. So we're very happy that we've been able to help.
During the month of February, we celebrated Black History Month by discussing significant African American historical figures. Students in a variety of classes and grades either completed a math project, created media presentations, wrote poems, or research papers. Each Friday, the bio and a prayer from a Black saint was read during the morning prayer. Additionally, the school counseling department organized a panel of 6 students and 3 alumni who spoke to all the grade levels in their classrooms, sharing their experiences as a minority in Belen. The theme was Encountering Christ in Each Other. This past Tuesday, juniors attended the Jesuit College Fair, where as many as 13 Jesuit colleges presented their schools for students interested in attending. This is an annual fair held by the College Counseling Office. But what was important is that it gives students an opportunity to meet the schools face-to-face.
I think the College Fair is a great opportunity to see and interact with different colleges and see what they have to offer.
The close-up trip comes to an end today. The 55 juniors will be returning tonight after taking a 6-day trip to Washington, D.C., where they got to see different monuments and take a tour of Capitol Hill, Arlington Cemetery, and much, much more.
This close-up has shown a lot of history to me. We've learned a lot from Mr. Collins' class, where the Vietnam War Memorial, the Korean War Memorial, Lincoln, the World War II, all this, it's just shown a lot of context and shown a lot of true passion that the soldiers, that true patriotism that us Americans all share. It also shows that us as kids really do have an impact for our future and for future generations.
If you are interested in finding out about the trip next year, please see Mr. Collins. You must be a junior or senior. This past Wednesday, all presidents and vice presidents of all the clubs took part in a leadership retreat, which was held at Manresa. The retreat was inspired by the leadership qualities of Jesus Christ. Students were encouraged to be better men for others. Carlos Bailey joins me now to talk to us about the latest on Michael Cohen.
Good morning, Matthew. Yes, Michael Cohen was back on the hot seat on Capitol Hill Thursday. This time he testified behind closed doors before another U.S. committee. This just one day after Trump's former personal lawyer gave explosive public testimony about his former boss. Michael Cohen capping off 3 days on Capitol Hill, today behind closed doors. His sit-down inside a secure facility with the House Intelligence Committee comes after an explosive open session Wednesday with House oversight.
He is a con man.
House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff told CNN his committee would focus on finding out more about the president's potential criminal conduct. Schiff tweeting, "We'll examine in depth many of those topics, including Trump Tower Moscow, Roger Stone, WikiLeaks, and any White House roles in Cohen's false statements to Congress." The committee wants to examine Cohen's claim that Donald Trump Jr. told his father about the meeting with the Russians at Trump Tower before it happened in June 2016, as well as Cohen's claim that Roger Stone informed the president that WikiLeaks was about to expose emails from the Clinton campaign and DNC. House Oversight Chairman Elijah Cummings said there's a lot more investigating to be done across Congress.
What we did yesterday was we gathered a lot of information that I think we may not look into it, our committee, but one of the 5 or 6 committees will.
One focus for Cummings, hush money payments Cohen says he made to Stormy Daniels to keep her quiet about an alleged affair with Trump years before. Cohen showed lawmakers 2 reimbursement checks, one he said was signed by the president and the other he said was signed by both Alan Weaselberg and Donald Trump Jr.
And do you know if this criminal financial scheme that the president, Alan Weisselberg,
and Donald Trump Jr. are involved in is being investigated by the Southern District of New York?
I'd rather not discuss that question because it could be part of an investigation that's currently ongoing.
Alan Wieselberg is the Trump's organization CFO, and he's provided testimony to federal prosecutors in Manhattan in exchange for limited immunity. Chairman Cummings says he may call both men in for questioning before House oversight. And Cohen opened the door to financial and tax fraud investigations. Handing over the 2011 and 2013 financial statements, Trump allegedly gave the Deutsche Bank as the basis for a loan to buy the Buffalo Bills. Cohen suggested Trump inflated his worth for this loan when it suited his interests.
Did the president ever provide inflated assets to an insurance company?
Yes.
For WBLN News, I'm Carlos Bailey.
Thank you, Carlos. Now we move to Ricardo Blanco. As more on the Korean summit. Ricardo.
Thank you, Matthew. There was a working lunch and the signing of an agreement on the agenda to wrap the summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un in Hanoi, but neither happened. President Trump said neither leader stormed away angry, but in this case, he had to walk rather than make a bad deal.
President Trump began his way back to Washington from Hanoi. The president, however, returned without a deal.
Actually, it was a very productive 2 days, but sometimes you have to walk.
The second summit between the two leaders in less than a year is still aimed at convincing North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to abandon his nuclear program. Top advisors to the president were said to have warned him that the North Koreans would be unyielding on the topic of sanctions that severely restrict their trade. The president thought he could make more progress face-to-face with Kim, but in the end said he didn't want to make a bad deal.
They wanted the sanctions lifted in their entirety, and we couldn't do that. They were willing to denuke a large portion of the areas that we wanted, but we couldn't give up all of the sanctions for that.
There is no third summit set. Secretary of the State Mike Pompeo said both
sides
were group, but the summit and weeks of work by each side ahead of it showed some signs of progress.
We made real progress, and indeed we made even more progress when the two leaders met over the last 36 hours. Unfortunately, we didn't get all the way. We didn't get to something that ultimately made sense for the United States of America.
President Trump spoke with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and South Korean President Moon Jae-in after leaving the summit. Both urged continued discussions. For WBLN, I'm Ricardo Blanco.
Hey guys, it's time for your scoop. Bottom United Nations will be meeting at 3:15 in room E202. On Monday, Chess Club will meet from 3 to 4:45 in room F203. Fantasy Club will meet Monday in the dining hall at 3:15. Also meeting on Monday, the International Testing Society will have a meeting from 3 to 4 after school. Stay with us as we bring you the weather and sports after these messages.
Good morning, Belen. Here's your weather for today. Starting off the day, it will be about 84 degrees with a 10% chance of rain, 78% humidity, and the winds will be 9 miles per hour east-southeast. At nighttime, it will be low 70, 71, and there will be a 10% chance of rain. For the rest of the week, at the beginning of the week, it will be high to mid-80s, and on Tuesday, there will be some thunderstorms. Towards the end of the week, there will be pretty low chill 70s and pretty sunny as well. Now on to sports with Lucas.
Thank you, Alex. Here are your sports for today. In Belen sports, the JV baseball team defeated Westminster Academy 10-0. The team was led by Daniel Perez, Christopher Bayo, and Carlos Iglesias. The baseball varsity team faced off versus Barbara Goldman High School. The Wolverines won 8-5. The team was led by Dorian Gonzalez, who went 1 for 3 with the home run, Christian Ura 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs, and Armando Albert 3 walks and 2 runs. The varsity volleyball team beat St. Brendan High School right here at home to expand the record to 3-1. Good job, guys. The JV and varsity lacrosse team face a tough match today against the Ransom Everglades at 5 and 7 o'clock. Make sure to come out and support your Wolverines. Moving on to pro sports, the Miami Heat faced last night the Houston Rockets. The score is 121-118. Rockets James Harden respectively scored 58 points with 10 assists and 7 rebounds. Goran Dragic, 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists off the bench. In latest NFL news, ex-tight end Jason Witten has announced his return to his former team, the Dallas Cowboys. Witten has decided to leave the Monday Night Football crew. Witten will begin his 16th season and will look to continue his Hall of Fame career. In latest news in the MLB, the Philadelphia Phillies have signed 6-time All-Star Bryce Harper to a 13-year, $330 million contract, making this the biggest contract in MLB history. The Miami Marlins went up against the Houston Astros in spring training. The score was 7-5 Houston. That's all for sports. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you. That's all for your news today. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And for everyone here, have a wonderful day.